Brett, that's mine.
Straight Amber.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, we want to thank you for bringing us all here together tonight. Thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Please allow us to open our hearts and minds so that we can make the best decisions possible for the city and for its citizens. Amen.
Amen.
You want to go ahead?
I just want to make a note on the agenda under item new business, item A, consider resolution number 2022-07, authorizing and approving the agreement with Home Heating and Cooling LLC for HVAC repair. It should say at Science Hall, not Library Learning Center, so I just wanted to correct that. It is correct on the resolution itself, but for clarity's sake.
Okay, I need to do roll call.
You got a black
I know,
marker?
now you can.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Atkinson,
Here.
Young,
Here.
Meadows,
Here.
Cowherd,
Here.
Harville, Elbert,
Here.
Venable,
Here.
Davis.
Here. Okay, are there citizens' comments? Don't see any, okay, so, approval of the minutes, are there any corrections? If not, they stand approved. Okay, consent items. Do I read that?
Yes, ma'am.
Consider pay request order number 1 from Smiko Contracting Group LLC in the amount of $34,462.93 for the wastewater treatment plant repair project. Are there any questions or?
Mayor, I make a motion we pay this consent item.
A second.
Okay. Roll call.
Can you give an overview of this?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually turn it over to Jeff and let him give an overview of this MICO project. It is a holdover from last fiscal year, but I'll let him talk about what they're doing. Just an overview of this MICO project.
They're down there, you two actually seen what they was doing down there at that time. They was doing sandblasting and everything. That's where they're doing like 17 feet a day, so it's taking some time. They are supposed to be done with the complete project by the end of this week, possibly run into next week, but more than likely it will be done by the end of this week. So this is just the first payment of it of 100 and something thousand, so plenty of that is done. Any questions on anything?
Okay.
That's last 34.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes. Okay. Presentation of accounts and claims.
Hold on, I gotta get there. Okay.
Yes.
Be it ordained by the council of the city of Boonville as follows. Section 1, for the purpose of paying salaries and various accounts against the city of Boonville, which have been allowed by the council at the regular meeting thereof on June 5th, 2023. The sum of $629,877.55. General fund, $183,395.74. Sanitation, $42,181.51. CIP tax, $85,664.24. Waterworks, $169,211.95. Capital projects, $0.00. Wastewater, $84,474.21. Tourism, $15,490.66. Gaming, $35,165.82. Parks and Water, $10,410.67. Kimber sales tax, $3,882.75. Economic Development Projects, $0.00. The accountant is hereby authorized and instructed to draw checks on the respective city bank accounts in favor of the persons whose salaries and accounts have been allowed as above, amounting to $629,877.55, being the total amount of money being appropriated. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its passage, first reading on June 5th, 2023, read for the second time this June 5th, 2023, since a copy was made available prior to the meeting.
Mayor, second reading title only.
Ordinance appropriating money.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve these accounts and claims.
I second.
Okay.
Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Coward,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Okay. Unfinished business. Second reading of bill number 2023-018, approving a preliminary site plan for Quick Trip located at 2428 Ashley Road.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, approving the preliminary site plan for Quick Trip Store 0681, located at 2428 Ashley Road, Boonville, Cooper County, Missouri, providing an effective date therefore and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
I make a motion we approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay.
I just want to note that Caitlin Helspur is here with Quick Trip, so she's the project manager. So if you guys have any questions, she's your lady.
Can you give us an overview on the timeline of the project?
Absolutely.
High level's fine, I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, you're good. Once again, my name's Caitlin Helspur. I am with Quick Trip. I've been with Quick Trip for 15 years now. Like to give a little quick spiel about me and who I am and what I do. So once we acquire a piece of property, my job is to work closely with the cities and our civil engineers and work through getting our store to construction. As our name stands, Quick Trip, we like to move as quick as possible. So every week that we're not open is a week that we're not making money. So as far as this project goes, it's been a doozy, as you guys know. There is a lot of fill that is required on this site, and it's pretty expensive to develop. So, but we are not afraid of a challenge. So I really want to commend everybody that we've worked with from city, MoDOT. Everybody has been extremely helpful in allowing us to get to this point and have a successful development. So as far as where we're at in our timeline right now, we are waiting on MoDOT to give us some figures for breaks and access. So I'm sure you guys are all aware that the governor just approved a big Improve I-70 project. And we were actually really worried that that was going to like halt our project. But we just heard from MoDOT about a week and a half ago that they are not going to slow us down. They're going to move forward with allowing us to have that break in access. So at this point in time, we're just waiting on a figure from them. Once we get that figure from them, it's going to be full steam ahead on our side. We just want to make sure that it financially makes sense. And it sounds like, honestly, it's going to. Our goal would to be start clearing trees as soon as we can. As you know, there's quite a few on this property. So hopefully I would like to late this summer, early fall, begin clearing trees. And then construction either by the end of this year or early next year. This project, just a quick overview. I know you guys have some extensive information and some pretty pictures on this project, but it's going to operate just like our store. The closest one to here would be Oak Grove. So it will be what we consider a truck stop, and we don't operate like most truck stops do. We don't have showers. We don't have a place for people to hang out. It's an in and out kind of thing. So we don't have overnight parking. Well, we do have truck parking spaces. We don't allow any trucks to park on our property overnight. So we're just a quick fuel way if they need to, and then move on down the road. So we will be open 24/7, 365 with our standard convenience items, fresh food and all that stuff. So I appreciate your guys' time, and I am absolutely here if you have questions.
What are the employment numbers for a store of this
Yep.
size?
I would say probably closer to 30 to 40. At the truck stops, we employ a few more employees just because of the amount of property that we have to cover. A lot of that is going to be local. We'll come out, we'll partner with the high school and maybe come out and see if we can do a hiring fair for any teenagers that are interested in working. We start hiring at the age of 16. And then our assistant managers on average make between $50,000 to $60,000 entry level. And then our store managers on average $100,000 a year. So we provide steady careers. This has been my one and only job. I started when I was in high school. I grew up in Green Valley. Had every intentions of going to school to be a teacher. Fell in love with the company, and they've provided a great career for me. So we partner with our communities too. So we donate 5% of our net profits back to the communities that we're in. So I encourage schools or anything like that, if they have fundraisers, to reach out to us. We like to partner closely with you guys.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kate, have you looked up the traffic out there? Are we going to put up a stoplight or a yellow light out there? Because
No, and that's MoDOT's right
Yeah.
away. So MoDOT is the one that controls the access and whatever additional requirements. I think they're having you put a turn lane in, right?
Yeah, so MoDOT has honestly been what has slowed us down up until this point, because we've did a pretty extensive traffic study, submitted that to MoDOT and to you guys as well. So the idea, obviously, with this Improve I-70 project is going to be widening I-70, which could potentially move that ramp over, which is why we've designed our site the way we've designed it. That outer road, MoDOT deemed exactly where they wanted it. There was no flexibility in us moving that at all. So Fuqua, I think is the name of that road that's on the other side of Ashley, was a big concern for MoDOT. But in order for our site to have good flow and safe flow, we needed to have 2 access points. So that's why, I don't know if you can kind of see on the plans, there's a big, what we call a pork chop almost, to prohibit people on Fuqua making illegal movements into our site. So I think MoDOT's idea was to eventually align Fuqua with the outer road, is what their dream is. So at this point in time, what we're doing is trying to make it as safe as possible for everybody. But at this point in time, there will not be any signals. At the point in time that outer road does become functional, they have said, hey, this will probably warrant a signal.
okay.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah,
On the backside of the property, I mean, as you said, it's going to need a lot of fill, obviously.
correct.
Is your plan to fill it out to where it's kind of level there, or is there going to be some sort of big retaining wall on the backside?
So the part of the reason why our site is so close to the highway is to try to prevent putting a retaining wall. So as of right now, there are no walls at all. I know that we have a little bit of grading on the corner right next to the city property by that little outer road, which we've been working closely with you guys. If we can grade just a little bit there, there will not be any retaining walls on the property at all. So we have to have gravity for detention, and so fortunately we've got it close enough to where it's going to work out to where we don't have to have one.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you guys so much.
Okay, new business.
We need a vote.
I need to do.
Oh, I
roll call.
forgot.
Well, I'm sorry.
okay.
I should have spoke up sooner. Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes. All right, new business. Consider resolution number R 2023-07, authorizing and approving an agreement with Home Heating and Cooling LLC for HVAC repair at the what was it?
Science Hall.
Science Hall.
A resolution of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing and approving an agreement between Home Heating and Cooling in the City of Boonville, Missouri pertaining to HVAC repairs at Science Hall on Kemper campus, and providing an effective date therefore. Whereas the City of Boonville has solicited and received bids for this project and determined that Home Heating and Cooling represents the best bid pursuant to the purchasing code set forth and Section 2-20 of the City of Boonville Code of Ordinances. Therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri as follows. That a certain agreement between Home Heating and Cooling and the City of Boonville, Missouri relating to HVAC repairs at Science Hall on the Kimber campus, a copy of which is marked Exhibit A, is attached here to and made a part hereof, is hereby approved. Section 2, the city administrator and the city clerk are hereby authorized to execute and attest said agreement on behalf of the City of Boonville. Section 3, this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage and approval, passed this 5th day of June 2023 by the City Council of the City of Boonville, Missouri.
Make a motion, we approve this resolution.
Okay,
I'll second, and I have a question.
okay.
Under new business, bullet A, it says, an agreement with Home Heating and Cooling LLC for HVAC repair at the Library Learning
I
Center.
corrected it. I fixed it.
I noticed when we read it, it did not say
Yeah.
Library Learning Center.
Yeah,
It is
it's
Science
Science
Hall, which
It
is part of,
yes, that's right.
part of city property, not
just-
part of anything in the
Correct.
library.
Yep.
Got a question. So was this budgeted or this just, okay, it was in the plan?
It was in the plans, and honestly, it hasn't worked through the winter either. We had them on heating units, space heaters, and I was pushing for the new fiscal year. Can only do one HVAC system at a time.
Any other questions? Okay,
Hold on, I gotta get together. Roll call on that one. Okay, Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Okay, item B, first reading of bill number 2023-019, amending certain parts of Appendix A- subdivision regulations, Section 6, final plat.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending certain parts of Appendix A subdivision regulations, Section 6, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Okay. Item C, first reading of bill number 2023-020, amending and establishing certain parts of Chapter 10, Article 1 relating to festival events, and Article 8, Section 10-283 relating to marijuana facilities.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending and establishing certain parts of Chapter 10, Article 1 relating to festival events, and amending Chapter 10, Article 13, Section 10-283 relating to marijuana facilities, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing all ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Okay. First reading of bill number 2023-021, amending portions of Appendix G, Schedule of Administrative Fees.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, amending portions of the Schedule of Administrative Fees, Appendix G, in the Code of General Ordinances by establishing and incorporating festival event license permit fees, providing an effective date therefore, and repealing parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance.
Okay. Item E, first reading of bill number 2023-022, authorizing an agreement with H.W. Lochner Incorporated for engineering services at Jesse Verdel Memorial Airport.
An ordinance of the City of Boonville, Missouri, authorizing and approving an agreement with H.W. Lochner Incorporated to provide airport engineering services.
Okay. And item F is Heritage Days street closure. Request?
Yeah, the folks from the chamber are here. They put out their door knockers this past week, so nobody came to the council meeting, so I guess that tells
So
you.
far, so good. So far, so good.
So far, so good. So at this point in time, we just are, if you guys have any questions, of course, you can ask them, but then if there's no questions, then we can approve their street closure so they can get on with their planning.
So moved.
Second. Do I have to second that? Okay, give me a
Yes.
second.
Okay, Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Okay, reports of standing committees. Jeff, is there anything, both of these meetings were no quorums. Is there anything you need to report about it? Okay. Okay, reports of city officials. Item A, city administrator.
I just wanted to bring to your attention, I think at the next meeting, we'll have on the agenda ordinance approving a contract with the school district. So the school district has decided that this year they would like to put in a school resource officer. Randy can answer any questions as well. We've been working closely with the school. I think they solicited proposals in March. Yeah. And we were the only one that submitted a proposal for them. So we've requested about a 76% reimbursement from them for the services of an SRO. We are going to provide a vehicle, the officer equipment, the uniforms, those sort of things, and the training. And we have a draft contract that I have gotten some feedback from their attorney, and Doug has reviewed it as well, and he said it looks good. So I think we'll be able to put the contract in. We did ask for a 3-year contract primarily because we thought it would be very difficult to find a school resource or any person who thought they would only have a 1-year contract. It's already hard enough to find police officers, and we thought if you didn't know you were going to have a job in a year, that would be even more difficult. But I should say, to our surprise, we had 4 applicants for the position, and Randy and Joe, like make sure I remember, and then Mrs. Cynthia Dwyer and was it Mrs. Jones? Mr. Bird. Oh. Okay. So they conducted joint interviews, which is what we had proposed in the proposal. And they interviewed 4 people. At this point in time, they've recommended moving forward with 1 of the applicants, and I believe he's accepted. Yes. Okay. So it's Tyler Schonsmeyer. So for people who are familiar, his wife works for the police department also. So, and he has a good candidate. He has had his foot at the school this year as the in-school suspension teacher. And previously he worked at the county, so he's got kind of both. He's a good first one. We've decided to hold off. Honestly, they want to have us hire 2 school resource officers. 1, which will be Tyler, is going to be housed at the high school and Hannah Cole. The second one will be at David Barton and Laura Speed Elliott. But we're going to hold off on that position until January. We just thought we'll get our feet wet with 1 since we haven't done this arrangement yet and make some mistakes. And then we'll be in a better position. And they've already, Randy and the committee has already conveyed that message to the other applicants. So I don't think we'll necessarily have to advertise for the position. But we're moving forward. So Tyler will be joining the city on July 1st. He'll go, first order of business is right to SRO training. So we're really excited to help the school out with this. I think it'll be a good thing for them. It'll be a good thing for us. So the contract will be in for the next one.
So the qualifications for a candidate to be an SRO, can you go through those? So obviously they have to be a licensed peace officer or whatever. Randy, can you just give us background on the type of candidates?
Yeah, they do have to be a licensed police officer, and it's not required, but you would want to send them through the SRO academy or training. And I got him enrolled in the advanced, which is full at this time, but he's on standby for that one. But the SRO program, it goes through pretty well everything they're going to need.
Okay.
Is that in Columbia?
That'll be down at Jeff City, Missouri Police Chiefs Association.
So, and I think we've had a lot of really good conversations with the school district that our job is not, well, not our job, their job, the SRO's job is not to enforce school policy. In the most part, it's more about the safety and security. So if someone is not sitting down, that he's not the disciplinarian, he's more if there's an issue that needs this from a safety and security standpoint. So I think we've had good conversations with the school board and the school district about those expectations. So
Yeah,
I think
they understand that.
Yeah.
They understand we're there mainly to keep the students safe and enforce anything criminal. We're not going to be, Johnny's not doing his homework, can you come in and talk to him? That's, you know, that's their responsibility, that's not gonna be ours.
Hey, some of them probably need that.
Any other questions?
I think it's gonna be a great deal. I think it's really gonna.
We're
open up-
excited, and we got the ball rolling. I know Tyler, he's just ready to go.
Well, I just think about the open communication there, to have an officer there on site all the time to communicate
Yeah,
with the rest of the city. I think it's really.
I think it will help with, you know, bridging that gap with the students and letting them see somebody in uniform, you know. Yeah, I think it'd be nice for them.
Great, thanks, Randy.
Do you have that kind of problem out there at the high school?
Typical high school, I think we all had them when we was going through high school, typical fights occasionally. You know, and I think today's society, people, you know, get a little
But I'm saying,
stronger
does
on.
Boonville have that type, does Boonville have a type of problem that needs a police officer out there at the high school?
Yes, yes. Actually, the teachers were requesting that this, you know, that's why I think they moved forward this year with it. They had so many requests from teachers to have an SRO in the schools. I think we're kind of almost probably one of the last schools that didn't have an SRO. Every school in the state just about has SROs now.
I didn't know if Boonville had that kind of fights out there, because my
Yeah, they have
grandbabies never had
typical
said
problems.
anything like that to me, that they had a big fight out there. They
Yeah, a
would
lot of
have
it
somebody
starts
out
on
there.
social media and it works into the school when they actually see the person, so. But by having a presence there, I think it's gonna help out a lot.
Thanks.
Just one last comment. It all kind of transpired a little bit after our budget planning, so these two officers are not actually accounted for in the budget. I think we can accommodate them, especially given that we're only paying for 25% of their time, but just so you know, when we get to the end of the year, the police personnel budget's gonna look a little higher, but that's because we'll have these additional officers, so.
And the pay scale's the same as a normal traffic
Correct.
officer, based on seniority and experience
Yeah.
and all that.
They'll be making slightly less because they're gonna be working 40 hours,
Oh, that's true, yeah.
hours
Yeah.
84.
Yeah, okay,
Just a tad bit less.
okay,
The hourly rate's all the same then.
yep, I'm with you. Okay.
Okay, committee appointments. Was there something we were supposed to do?
Yeah, we need to make a motion for all those.
Okay, there are appointments for Board of Adjustments. Do we do them all at once?
We can do them all at once, yeah.
Okay. And Board of Public Works, are those the only two?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, these are kind of confusing.
Okay, yeah. There are 5 candidates for the Board of Adjustments and 4 candidates for Board of Public Works.
Just want to congratulate Jeff Ditto on finding a full Board of Public Works. So they haven't met in like 3 years or 4 years because we couldn't get a board. So we've been recruiting our retirees, if you notice.
Can we hear the names?
Sure. It's, so for the Board of Adjustments, it's Jerry Quinlan, Lindsay McGuire, Zach Simpson, Christy Linhart, and Mark Weibel. For the Board of Public Works, it's James Earl Quint, Glenn Bishop, Leo Dale Montier, and Ed Scrivener is getting renewed.
Do we need 2 separate motions or just one?
You knew one.
Just do
I'll
one.
make a motion that we approve these positions on the committees.
Okay,
Second?
second.
Who was that? Brad? Okay. Atkinson,
Yes.
Young,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Cowherd,
Yes.
Elbert,
Yes.
Venable,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Okay, City Clerk, do you have anything?
Who's gonna be here for the July 3rd meeting?
Steve?
I hope to be still here.
No, because we know that, like, we're supposed to have a meeting that day, but that is a
Oh.
holiday weekend, and
Oh, yeah.
if we're not gonna have a quorum, we're not.
I would recommend we push it or
Yeah.
reschedule if possible.
That's my recommendation too,
Great.
but.
4
I
day
second that.
weekend, yeah, 4-day weekend.
So normally, I mean, we put a few extra things on this agenda in thinking that we might not have a quorum for the 3rd. So that's why all the airport stuff was on there. I was like, well, let's get it in. So at this point in time, we may just cancel that meeting for lack of a quorum, and that's okay. I mean, we definitely have done that before. But we did want to get a consensus now. If we had a lot of people out of town, then we wouldn't, it'll probably move that direction.
Will we have to do the accounts and claims
We-
also? I
we
mean,
can-
how would that work?
We can do it without it. I mean, we have done the accounts and claims when we haven't had a quorum. That's when Teresa goes on vacation, and I took minutes. We'd never have a quorum, but we'll still do the accounts payable, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So you will have a meeting?
We will not.
Not.
Okay. Anything else, City Clerk?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Miscellaneous. Barry?
I got one, the graffiti in Lions Park. I appreciate Paul taking care of that problem out there. You know, he did a good job. And there's still some more graffiti out there, but he's done a good job. Yes, yeah, they're still working on something. But me and your conversation, Kate, about cameras in the park, how fast or how soon do you think we can get something like that up?
I'll defer to Teresa because she's been working with John. I mean, I think we've seen the layout, and then we added more cameras because we had graffiti at the ball field.
So, I met with John the week before the vandalism occurred. And we had only decided to do like the playground area, the tennis court area, and so on. So when we found out that there was all that vandalism, I contacted John and sent him all the pictures and said, we're gonna have to go ahead and do the softball field area. So I told him a multi-directional camera would be the best, so we'll have to go ahead and put up a pole that'll have 4 cameras on it, which is really going to get basically anything that could be vandalized. And I'm meeting him tomorrow, actually, to get the definite spot where we want to place the pole. And then, yeah, he knows that we're trying to move this along pretty quickly because of what happened over that weekend. The many places that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, because I was talking to Mark Strange out there, and we don't have no picnic benches out there in the shelter houses. And there's quite a few ladies that were just sitting in those chairs, those folding chairs, and you know what I mean. I wish we had some picnic benches out there, and the kids was playing. You know, the bathrooms wasn't opening, but
Right.
come baseball, they was opening them up. You know what I mean? I just think we should have them open up all the time in the summertime while kids and mothers out there playing with their kids in the park so they can go to the bathroom.
I think the cameras will help greatly because we're actually putting fiber out there. It was going to be a whole lot easier kind of putting a leg of fiber there as opposed to sending a signal to the aquatic center.
Yeah.
And so they are going to have that completed within 30 days. And we've already got that placed as to where it's going to be set at the restrooms. So we're actually moving forward pretty quickly on this. And I'm hoping it's going to get done by the end of this summer at the latest. I mean, they know how important it is. They know how much vandalism we've had. They know we're trying to move forward as quickly as possible. I'm going to work on Lions Park first. I mean, I got 2 parks, Lions Park and Kemper. I'm wanting to push Lions Park really quickly as the big priority. And then, I mean, if we have more vandalism, I'm hoping we don't.
Do we have a time frame to when that park's supposed to close? Because I know Hoy Park closed at a certain time. Does Lion Park stay open all the time? Or is it supposed to be 11 o'clock too?
Yep. So, anything else?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I just wanted to make a comment in case you didn't notice. I want to compliment Signature Remodeling and Village Glass. They put our new window back in, so if you didn't take a look, it was a labor of love by both of them. So it looks fantastic, and I'm very thankful to have a window back. So
I had one thing. I had somebody ask me with the changing of the lanes on I-70 that will be coming up, do we, as a small town, anticipate issues with traffic coming up through 40 and around to avoid any issues that might happen? It's hard to predict, I know, but somebody asked, so I
yeah,
felt.
I mean, I think inevitably, anytime there's work on I-70, people will work and get on 40, but I don't even know, I don't think MoDOT has even really started to lay out, like, is it gonna be multiple, I know we have a good MoDOT, like, Kirsten is excellent, so I know she'll keep us in the loop. as much as she can, and I'm sure there'll be conversations forthcoming.
When is that supposed to start?
It's like the
July 16th to
June?
19th.
It's
Or
June.
June 16th.
That's the shift to the westbound lane.
Well, and they're,
Yeah.
they're
Right, but
Take
Taking
it down
down-
to Roachport.
and that's gonna be one lane, and so we probably will have more
Yeah.
authority.
It's
Yeah.
a good thing 40's open.
No.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they got that open before they started doing this other stuff.
Okay, well, anything else from anybody?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
No second.
We're done.